Hello and welcome to the Halloween edition of Life Examined. We are live. Let's get started. Halloween in the USA is celebrated on October 31st. Halloween is derived from Scotland, Scottish for All Hallows Eve. Baking soda, it has many uses. Sodium bicarbonate. If you are having a small grease fire, notice I said small, and you are thinking about putting water on it, do not do it. Instead, sprinkle a little bit of sodium bicarbonate evenly, and this will smother the fire. If you need more information about this, you can get some at your local fire department or just a basic search on small grease fires. Also, keep in mind that a Class K and a Class C fire extinguisher is also good to have handy in the kitchen for such kind of fires. The only drawback is that everything in the kitchen will now be dirty and contaminated, which can be a small price for an ever extending fire. The United States elections are 2 days away. Elections in the United States are held the first Tuesday of the month in November. It is not a federal holiday. It's a day that many people will exercise their responsibility and duty as a citizen, but not required for the presidential race in the United States every 4 years. Win or lose, keep in mind that all rhetoric and actions against Donald Trump in the last 4 years, last 8 years really, will age horribly. Keep that in mind. In the United States, crime is a big problem, and these top cities seem to have the highest percentage of homicides per 100,000 of its citizens. Memphis, Tennessee, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Baltimore, Maryland, that's number 3. Number 2, St. Louis, Missouri. And the number 1 state for homicides in the United States is New Orleans, Louisiana. The Day of the Dead in Mexico is celebrated November 1st to the 2nd. It's a 2-day holiday. It's a multi-day holiday. And it's a day where family and friends gather and they show their respects to remember friends and family members who have died. They do this by decoration, they do this by disguise, they do this by painting their face, and by humble observance. In 2009, the Pew Research Center studied supernatural experiences by people who were in touch with someone who had died and percentage of people who had been in the presence of ghosts. And out of 2003 people, 29 people were in touch with the dead, 29% of people were in touch with the dead, and 18% of people had seen ghosts. And a study done in 2009 by the Pew Research Center of percentage of people in touch with the dead and percentage of people that had seen ghosts, males out of 862, 26% had been in touch with the dead and 16% had seen ghosts. Female, out of 1,100 women, 33% had been in touch with the dead and 20% had seen ghosts. In a research study done by Pew Research Center in 2009 of supernatural experiences by percentage of people who had been in touch with someone who had died and by percentage who have seen or been in presence of ghosts, when it came to 1,500 people, 29% of white people had been in touch with the dead, 17% had seen ghosts. Black, of 160 people tested, 41% had been in touch with the dead and 20% had seen ghosts. Hispanics, 149 were polled, and 30% of Hispanics had been in touch with the dead and 20% of Hispanic had seen ghosts. A study done in 2020 said that more people now are using marijuana daily than alcohol. This is compared to a similar poll done in 1992, where more people were consuming alcohol than smoking marijuana. The views on marijuana, as well as laws changing, have changed these numbers drastically. A few of the negative side effects of marijuana are these: teenage brain development issues, higher likelihood of depression, the possibility of anxiety, increased risk of psychiatric disorders, problems with memory function, damage to the lungs, cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome, cardiovascular and heart health, decrease in testosterone, and marijuana addiction.